Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you to the All-Party Parliamentary Group for this opportunity today, and to the speakers, to all of you for coming along. It's a fantastic opportunity for us, an opportunity for us to show off just a little bit, which is what I'm here to do. I think we're just going to show a brief video in a moment. Before I do, I'm just going to say, I think, how we see the importance of how this programme fits in with the kind of broader agenda in the Fire and Rescue Service, really. In an environment of enormous success across the service and across the sector in terms of reducing the number of fires and fire deaths, the exposure of firefighters to fires is becoming less and less and less. And in that environment, the importance of quality performance, and particularly the importance of safe performance, becomes more and more important. As far as we're concerned, we are in the business of trying to provide a database of good practice that forms a sound basis for the way the service should perform its operational firefighting and rescue role. I'm very much hoping, and I listened to what Kay said earlier on about this not being too operational a seminar, I think it's important that we know where this fits in terms of that agenda. If we are to continue to be successful in driving down the number of fires and incidents, it does not mean they won't happen. And if and when they do, we need them to be dealt with in the most high quality and professional way possible. And we think we are working at the centre of that particular agenda. So, the video I'll play now says that better than I can, so I'll step back for a couple of minutes and let you watch that.
Operational guidance is what makes us tick, effectively, efficiently, safely. We can't work without it, and we can't serve the people who need us without it. Until now, we've had operational guidance from so many sources, it's been hard to see the wood for the trees. Too many places to look, too many versions to dissect. So much cross-referencing, and so many reams of fussy formal language to absorb. Today, things are different. The National Operational Guidance Programme has been working hard to put together a programme of operational guidance that ticks all the boxes and helps us to find exactly what we need with a simple click, to stay up to date with what we need to know and do, to write guidance for our local fire services more easily, and to see things more clearly. Today, things are refreshingly uncomplicated. No super heavy technical content, no more information overload. Today, National Operational Guidance is focused on the incidents you're likely to encounter and all the hazards and activities that are associated with them. These are our control measures. These are the measures that are being devised and endorsed by teams of experts with experience from across the UK's fire services and our communities. They've used historical insights on past hazards, risks, control measures, and lessons learned from the incidents we've faced, and reinvented this wheel of operational wisdom. The result is a streamlined, super easy to search and digest, plain talking, and totally up-to-date online resource that ticks every box with just a click. We have a framework that brings consistency across our fire services communities, delivers new guidance clearly, and creates a one-stop shop of best practice operational policies and procedures that are aligned with our emergency service partners, tailored to our local needs, and help us train, develop and perform better. And all this is happening now. Welcome to a groundbreaking new operational guidance resource that ticks every box.
And can I first of all say the website address there, if you'd like to visit our website, all of our wares are laid out on the website, access to all the guidance, access to this video, access to all the resources that we're developing as part of the programme. It won't be the last time that I say that. Also, if you subscribe on the website with your email address, we will send you updates as and when they occur as to whenever things move forward on the programme. You will get a reminder in your inbox, visit the site, and actually have a look at it. So if I am much too boring this afternoon, you will at least get the chance to revisit it and look at it in a much more interesting way online. I'm going to now try to very quickly encapsulate a little bit more on how the thinking differs from stuff that's been done before in the Fire and Rescue Service and what we've delivered so far. First of all, you may not be able to see this too well up on the screen up here because the writing is quite small. So in your pack, there is actually a breakdown of this slide, so you can actually see it in more detail if you'd like to. The colour coding is reasonably simple to follow. Green is material that we've already developed. Red is material that we are developing and is actually this year now out for consultation. And white is the next 2 years' work, we hope, subject to, of course, us achieving the right level of funding. And we know that if we do achieve that funding and if we do get the programme laid out in the way that we wish, over the next 2 years we will turn every single one of those boxes green and we will finish the entire guidance framework right across the piece for the service. There will be a full framework in place. It differs, as the video said, in that it is not a series of documents that we're producing, it's an online database, an online resource, a much more modern way of actually taking this forward. And it also isn't related entirely to just incidents themselves. The way we've looked at this is we've tried to learn from what's happened in the past. And the service has in the past looked at different incident types it's had and then written guidance to match those incident types. And it's produced shelves and shelves of guidance dealing with incidents that are broadly similar but a little bit different, with the guidance next to each other, repeating things again and again, with inconsistency then being built into that, with certain guidance going out of date, and turning it into such a huge volume of material that it's absolutely impenetrable and unusable. And that has been pointed out to the service by the legal profession and others that we've actually been in this very difficult position. New thinking, therefore, was needed to how we actually do this. And this framework, if you like, works from left to right. With things that are on the left of the framework are generic things that are done at all types of incidents, and as you move across to the right of the framework, then more and more specificity, more and more specific things are built into the guidance. So we just say on the left-hand side here, incidents and incident command, operational elements, they apply to all incidents. The next stage is context, transport's identified there. We're dealing with a transport incident now, there are hazards and controls that we need to place for that. And then we've got 3 different types of activity: fires and firefighting, hazardous materials, and performing rescues are the activities of the fire service. So if you were to look at a particular incident type, you could build it up by looking across the guidance framework with a series of links saying we're dealing with a road traffic collision in the scenarios on the right. We need to have some material for performing rescues. If there's a fire, we need some material from fires and firefighting. We need some incident command material, and we need some context about working on a road to deal with a road traffic collision, for example. So it deals with activities, not incident types. And in that way, it's a much more versatile way of approaching the whole problem in that respect. That's probably enough detail about the framework itself for this audience. We can go into much more detail with practitioners who actually have to use this. The only point I'm going to make about the content of the guidance is if this is activities, we've identified for each activity that the service undertakes what is good practice and what represents the hazards that firefighters will face in dealing with that activity, and what control measures they need to actually apply in order to deal with those hazards they've identified. So they have to ask themselves, what am I doing, what am I exposed to, and therefore what are the things I need to do to control that risk and what I'm doing. And that forms the basis for the guidance itself. So our achievements in green, we've delivered all of those things across the piece, and some of those are quite big pieces of guidance that we boiled down from huge weighty tomes down to relatively slim documents. The way to look at it is it's a database, not a series of documents. It will interact in a way that you can build it up and present the right material to the users that need it. It's a new, as the video said, modern resource that the service can use. It has been developed in collaboration with the whole service. The different chief officers have led different elements of those projects, and we've had expertise both from across the service and across the sector to actually put the whole thing together. So we've got a good strategy, we've achieved a lot so far, we've got a good programme to achieve the rest of it. We hope very much today will help you to understand a bit more about it, and that we get the support to continue and deliver this important resource for the service. Thank you very much.